Oh yeah, good morning, everyone. This is another edition of Community Conversations, our special nutrition edition, and we have Miss Sheila Bailey join us. This is actually my first time interviewing her. Usually, her and Allie do the segment, but Miss Bailey and I have been talking off air, and it's like she got some very dynamic information for you guys. So definitely excited to talk to her. So we'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. So if you're watching that on our Facebook Live, go ahead and share this video, and I will do the same.
All right, you ready for me?
Not yet. We still got a couple announcements to run, so we'll be ready in about 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
But I'll prompt you. I'll introduce you, and then I'll let you take it away.
Okay.
Southeast Missouri, St. Bernards.info.
If you have a second home, land, or commercial property that's costing you money and not being used, donate it to KLEK. It's easy, free, and you may even claim a significant tax deduction. Learn more and give at klekfm.org.
I'm sure Allie will probably be tuned in from her office, so she may drop a comment in the feed.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Master and doctorate in biblical theology, ministry, religious education, and biblical counseling. NLBCS is accredited by the Accrediting Commission International Incorporated and is approved by the Arkansas Division of Higher Education. More information is available at www.nlbcs.com.
It's 9:03. KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participant, not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriting response.
KLEK 102.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Thursday. It's January 26, 2023. This is Community Conversations. Kiddo Wonder is in the studio with you, and I am joined by Miss Shelia Bailey. This is our KLEK Monthly Nutrition Edition, and of course, this is my first time actually hosting. Normally, Allie does this segment, but I was just talking with Miss Bailey off air about what all has been going on, and she's got some dynamic information for you. We're going to be talking about vegetables today as part of the My Plate. So I'm going to take it away, Miss Bailey, and let's go.
All right, good morning, and thank you again for having me. Just want to, share some information and kind of help us to look at healthy eating a little bit different. Allie and I have had some good conversations, and I'm looking forward to having some good conversation with you too, Mr. Kale, about, nutrition and how we can help our people help us to do better. And it's not a, cold turkey type thing. We just want to know how we can just make some small changes, a little bit at a time, to help us to develop healthy eating habits and, do those things that's just going to help us to live better lives and live it to the fullest and, feel better. Nobody wants to walk around feeling sluggish and all of that all the time and not have energy to do things. And especially those of us with small children, even grandchildren. Sometimes I will get the pleasure of hosting one this weekend. So I need to be at my best. I need to be my best self to be able to keep up with that one, because he's a goer. He gets going, and I have to keep up with him. So this is, it's going to help me as well, but I want to help you guys as we go along. So, we started talking about My Plate. It's changed a little bit from the My Pyramid that everybody has known in the past, when it tells you, how much of certain groups of things that you should have. So it's now My Plate. And we talked about fruit, and I started talking about vegetables, and, Allie would get me off subject sometimes or something, and I didn't get to tell all of it. So now I'm gonna finish it up. Hi, Allie, if you're listening.
I don't see her on yet, but I do see T-Rail's mom, Mama Dunn, is on the Facebook Live. She says, good morning, and good morning, Mama Dunn.
Yes, good morning. Look, good morning, Granny Faye, as I call her.
I got you. Well, we call her Mama Dunn here, so.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk some more about vegetables today. So, vegetables, one of those foods that's going to be lower in calories. Instead of, high in calories, such as, our fruits or even some of the other things. So it's going to help you lower your caloric intake, the more vegetables that you eat during the day. But it's going to satisfy you, it's going to fill you up. Eating vegetables can reduce the risk for heart disease, including heart attack and stroke. Now, I'm saying these things because this is what's been reported. I get a lot of my information from, the government sites, of course, working with schools. We have those sites, USDA, because they operate the National School Lunch Program, the School Breakfast Program. So we have to be up to date on these things so that we can make sure that our children at school are getting healthy meals that's going to help them to make good choices in life. So when I talk about can help, reduce heart disease and heart attack and stroke, you can eat vegetables every day, but if you're still eating a lot of fatty stuff and sugar and all that, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. So we want to decrease all of that stuff, but increase on the good stuff. Not saying that you can't have that some of the times. And when I talk about things, because one of the segments, with the fruit, I talked about, you may want a little pound cake every now and then with your fresh fruit, like fresh strawberries, like my folks like at home. And so one of the schools that I work with watched that segment. And so the word was, we want pound cake and strawberries. So I kind of have to watch what I'm saying because they're
You
going
planted
to
that
come to the
temptation.
carpet on. I'm sorry, say that again.
You planted that temptation.
I did. I planted that seed. And so, I had to, bring a little pound cake and some fresh strawberries. So, but that's okay. I don't mind. I love to do those things. And so that's why I talk about them, because I'm passionate about it and I love to do these things. So, that's not a problem. Eating a diet rich in vegetables can help protect against certain cancers. And it also can help your body to heal. Because it has potassium in it, and you can have vitamin A, vitamin C, and those things. And so it's good for your body. Okay, but most Americans don't get enough of fiber and potassium. And so hopefully, as we go through these things, you can see some little changes that you can make. And I know those of you with small children or even not so small children, because if you don't start developing these healthy eating habits at a young age, it's harder to change these things as you get older and as you get to be our age. For it's just because we're set in our ways, and children will just resist it. And it's going to take more than one time for you to get your child to eat it. Don't just say, oh, well, they don't like it, they're not going to eat it, I can't get them to eat it. After you try it one time, it's going to take more than one time.
So let me just ask this quick question for the parents out there. What ways are there to prepare those vegetables to make them more appealing to children without, putting a bunch of sugar and salt on them?
And salt. That's a very good question. And I've worked with clients before, and, that was one of the things, because it deals with the smaller children, and some of those children needed more, calories or more vitamin C or what have you. And so they said, well, I can't get them to eat this, I can't get them to eat that. And again, I say it's going to take more than one time. Sometimes they will eat them raw instead of cooked, for example, carrots, or vice versa. One of the things that I found with working with the after school program was that when you let them get involved, when you take them to the grocery store and you talk about these different things, and they see these different things, and they're learning about these things in school. as well. So when you go to the grocery store and they tell you what something is, they know what they're talking about. So don't just say, you don't know what you're talking about. Let them get involved. And one of the things we used to do was we would buy ingredients and let them prepare them, make a smiley face sandwich with a low calorie spread and let them decorate it however they wanted to. And then they were so excited with what they had created, they would actually eat it. I had parents all the time saying, well, they said they ate, celery, or they ate, raw carrots. How did you do? We didn't do anything except let them get involved in preparing these items. You don't have to cook everything so that it's mushy and whatever, but you have to find what works for your child. You're going to have to try different things and prepare them different ways, and something is going to click. Another thing is example. Parents, a lot of times our children would do what we're doing. So many times, especially with, even with my children, which are adults now, but my grandchildren, they will eat something just because I'm eating it and they want what I have. For some reason, all of my folks want to eat what I eat. So that's, another thing that you can think about. If you're frowning up and going, ugh, about everything, that's what they're going to do. I can't eat strawberries, but that does not keep me from buying strawberries and having them at home for my folks.
Okay.
So,
And we got a comment from Facebook Live. Mama Dunn says, thank you, Gigi and Keely K 102.5 FM. I have increased my fruit intake and a better food watch since I've been watching you all. I have, all caps, not put my pet milk or lemon Oreos down yet. I mean, my mom used to make me a toast with pet milk and cheese on it.
and she's, you know what? Hey, and like I said, this is not a cold turkey, and especially for our people, we don't like it when you say, well, you can't have this or you can't have that. So that's not what I'm saying. And Mama Don, Granny Faye knows that, hey, we're not going to fight about the pet milk or even the Oreos, but you are making changes. That's going to affect your life in the long run. But if you would just simply decrease the use of those other things, that's going to help as well.
Okay, so maybe Mama Dunn, maybe just have one less Oreo a day.
Yes, or maybe not, not have them every day.
Every other day or something.
Yeah, have them every other day, and then we can cut back a little more to where we're having them their treat, So there are different ways that you can do these things. And again, like I say, we need to lead by example as adults, as the parents. And I know it's hard because we're so used to eating what we have and making do with what we have. And I know that things are more expensive today than they were last month. Okay, not just the gas, but the cost of food. But on one of my segments, I talked about sources to help you with these things, school lunches. Complete that application if your child is not in a school where it's CEP, where all students eat at no charge to the parents. Go ahead and complete that free and reduced application. There is no stigma with it. We want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do concerning our children. So that's going to help with that. During the summer, there are summer programs that offer meals at no charge. Take advantage of those. Find out where those sites are in your community. And that's going to help with your grocery bill so that you can have a little more money to spend on those fresh fruit and vegetables. Because like I said, I know the price of stuff is going up. So, if you need some more information about that, then just, if you can let me know some kind of way, I will be more than happy to get that information to you.
Speaking with Shelia Bailey, this is our KLEK Nutrition Edition on Community Conversations. And of course, if you have a question or a comment for Ms. Bailey, you can drop them on our Facebook Live feed, any questions that you may have concerning this topic. So in your opinion, what vegetables do you think are best to eat? What will give you the most benefits?
Well, it's going to depend on the person. Because, for example, potassium, which could help you have a healthy blood pressure. Okay, potassium is found in things like sweet potatoes, white potatoes, but with the potatoes, if you're diabetic, you need to watch that because of the carbs. Okay, because it's going to turn into that sugar. So that's why I say it depends on that person and what your individual needs are. But other things with potassium will include white beans, tomato products, beet greens, soybeans, lima beans, spinach. You know, spinach is one of those things as a child growing up, I thought I hated spinach. I would not eat spinach. But then, you know, your taste does change as you mature. And so spinach is one of my favorite greens now. I'll eat it raw. I'll put it on my hamburger, you know, instead of just regular lettuce, something like iceberg lettuce, because it really has no nutritional value, really. So I will use spinach instead and put it on hamburger. Acorn squash. And let me tell you something, you can Google just about anything these days on how to prepare something, different recipes. I get so many emails from sites that I've been to look up recipes and different things. And you don't have to boil things or till they're mushy. Try roasting some potatoes, roasting some green beans, sauteing some greens, you know, so that it still has a little bite in it.
Well, an example I can think of is broccoli, microwaving it, you know, sometimes to get a little crisp on it. Excuse me, I was one of those that did not like broccoli as a kid, but when I first developed thyroid issues, I actually had to start taking it. I actually ended up falling in love with it. We got about 2 minutes left. So anything else that you just want to reiterate or touch on? Actually, we got to start. That's like more like 3.5 minutes.
Okay, but again, like you said, broccoli, you can eat broccoli raw. You can put it in salads. You can roast it and put some seasoning on it, and be careful, you know, with the salt and all of that. So there are other types of seasoning you can put on it. And I know one of the favorite things for people to do is to cook the broccoli and want to load it down with a lot of cheese.
I don't do that.
That cheese and broccoli, that's the way the kids will eat it. But even if you do add some cheese, there are cheeses that are lower in sodium and fat these days, okay? So let's learn to read our labels so that we know what's in what we're serving. And just because it's not full of salt does not mean that it will not have taste. We can season things with other herbs and lemon juice and all kinds of things. So let's find something that'll work for your family and go with that. And then, you know, find something else later on. You don't have to do it all at once. That's my thing. Don't try to do it all at once and get frustrated and then decide that I'm just not going to do anything at all. Okay? Let's do it little by little, and we can make a difference.
Okay, and what can we look forward to in the next edition of Nutrition Edition?
The next, we're going to talk about some, one of my favorite things, meat. So that's what we're going to talk about in the next edition, and we'll talk about some benefits and some alternatives to meat products.
Okay, so you definitely got to stay tuned next month for that. This is our Nutrition Edition. We do this every fourth Thursday of the month, and we definitely appreciate each and every one of you for checking in. And of course, Ms. Shelia, we thank you for dedicating your time and giving up your time to disseminate this information to our listeners and to our viewers. It is greatly appreciated. And of course, we thank and appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. That's going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is Kate, LEK, 102.5 FM. All right, well, thank you so much. And we will see you again next month.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed it.
All right, have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.